What's going on, folks? TJ Lauerman, aka That Sports Gamer, here again, back with episode 54. Legends have arrived. Helps if I put the little lower thingy thing to actually say what's up. I'm joined currently by Snaggle J, who has just subscribed to the channel. Thank you very much, buddy. Appreciate that.
Not a problem.
How's it going, sir?
Good. I mean, other than being the worst MLB The Show player on the planet, it's going pretty good. I've been struggling, man. It's been a rough several days.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a fun several days for me, but for multiple different reasons. I guess we'll kill some time before Millennium gets here. Hey, you know what I did Friday?
What's that?
I went to the MLB Network studios. It was pretty dope, and I kind of want to go back and just hang out. I want to figure out a way to play video games in Studio 42.
I know. I was aware that you were there. I think you guys, as I said via email earlier today, that you and Rich both did fantastic jobs with your respective tasks. One of you on air, the other behind the scenes, hyping up the social medias.
Yeah, if you go to, I don't know where it is. If you just go on to twitter.com/OOTPbaseball, you'll see a link to the MLB Now segment that Rich and Scott Braun did over on the MLB Network on Friday. Lots of fun. Great place. Everybody was real nice. Saw Dan Plesac. I didn't get a chance to ask him if he's salty that Harold Reynolds has cards in the game, but he doesn't. Seems like something of contention. Yeah, it was a great time. A lot of fun showing off out of the park baseball over there. And like once we started talking to one person, it's like he told one person, and then they told one person, and they're like, "Hey, I play out of the park. Hey, I play out of the park too." And apparently, there's a bunch of people there that play out of the park, and they didn't even know that they each played out of the park.
Nice.
But the coolest thing I think was definitely, so like, I mean, this happens with every video game, but like how everybody has their own stories. Like you might be like, "Oh, I ripped these packs, got these great cards," or "I started a franchise, got this thing happen."
Yeah.
And you know how you're like super excited to tell someone about it.
Right.
So when we walked into MLB Network and we started talking to the guy, the story they tell about Buster Posey and Yu Darvish becoming friends, that's like the first thing the guy hits with. He's like, "Hey guys, great to meet you. You'll never believe what happened in Out of the Park last night."
Well, I just thought it was odd that they brought up that one thing. Like, because I mean, obviously, because I play the game, I'm well aware that sometimes there are some quote unquote strange behind the scenes anecdotes that will happen in the game.
Well, I actually stopped him because I was like, "Did someone get bit by a shark?" Because I remember we had a rash of that earlier in the season.
But it's so funny because it's first of all, it's actually something that could happen. But just like I said, when he brought up that one specific thing on the air, I was like, "Oh wow, that's one of the better ones I've heard."
Yeah, I think the story was Darvish gets traded to the Giants, becomes friends with Buster Posey. They open up a nightclub together. I think Bruce Bochy didn't like it. Is Bruce Bochy the Giants Cup manager now?
He is, yeah.
He didn't like it. Then there was an altercation with Buster Posey at the nightclub, and then Buster Posey ended up getting suspended, which was pretty hilarious. Yeah,
so good.
It was cool. But we're here on Bullpen Banter to talk about MLB The Show. We should just make this an all MLB game thing at some point, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Pug Rock, thanks for the follow. Yeah, MLB The Show. Lots of stuff going on Friday. We want to kick it off talking about the recent roster update, which actually netted me a bunch of stubs. So I'm very happy about that. So we're going to go over to our friends at daddyleagues.com and check out what happened. We'll talk about the new cards in a minute. I didn't even notice this one. Jose Altuve got a +2 bump. He's up to a 99 now. Corey Kluber got 2 to a 94. Dylan Betances went from a 90 to a 90. Some interesting changes that might be important for you. Yeah, let's talk about Judge too. Judge went from an 87 to a 88, but with some very important things changing in there. Zach Britton went from a 92 to a 90. So now he's teetering on falling out of Diamond. Raisel Iglesias goes from an 85 to an 87. And here's where Daddy made his money. Jose Contreras went from an 83 up 3 points to an 86, going from silver to gold. Trevor Rosenthal, which I had about 25 of them, went from 84 to 86. Aaron Nola went from 83 to 85, which now the Phillies have a gold. Rich Hill went up from 82 to 85 on the Dodgers. Jonathan Scope, who I think I had 15 of, went from 82 to 85, making him gold. And Sonny Gray also goes gold. JT Realmuto went gold. Justin Upton went from 82 to 84, knocking on the door now. So is Scooter Gannett. Corey Dickerson dropped at a gold from an 85 to an 83, as did Cole Hamels. Who else? Felix. Can you believe?
Yeah.
Felix is a silver.
Yeah, when was the last time Felix Hernandez was a silver?
I can't even remember.
Was
there a time?
It's been a while.
I wonder if there was a time.
I don't know. I honestly, I saw that today because I just happened to be, that was one that I actually missed in the roster update. Mm-hmm. And I actually was going through my my programs, and obviously the Felix program has you have to have his live series card.
Oh, so that's super
and I
cheap
just
now,
clicked,
right?
No, it's
it's still expensive for a silver, but
yeah, for a silver, I think it's still like 8 or 9K. It is currently you can get it for about 7K if you put an order in. But yeah, he's 77 with negative IE boost today. So, definitely not. Yeah, so I was like, wow, Felix is an 83.
Guys, I got breaking news that we're going to talk about in just a couple minutes.
Ooh.
Great news. Hot off the press news.
Nice.
But yeah, also,
this is interesting update.
Also, Will Myers went down from an 85 to an 83, who is important because I've actually been using Will Myers in the event that we're playing right now. Right. Anybody else super important? Not really. Ben Gamel, everybody's been using him in the event too.
I feel like we just had a very important update to the roster of this current stream.
Did we?
So I hear.
I assume that means Mills Gaming TV is here.
What's going on, guys? No, I'm just kidding. Sorry.
Come on, buddy.
That's good. That's classic.
Mills. So, just as a heads up, I suck at this event. I don't like it. And I still got the Arietta. So, I don't want to hear anybody else say they can't get the Arietta.
I mean, I thought it was only 3 days long, so I was pretty sure I wasn't getting the Arietta, and I learned it was
no, 3 days long to get 40 games of a 60 inning, of 6 innings?
Yeah, wouldn't put it past him.
I have put very little effort into it, only because I was away all weekend and I'm away all this weekend, so I only have 4 days. So I'm trying, but it's been difficult.
But like you said, at 4 days is super tough. I mean, you have to do 10 wins a day, and listen, as I said, you have to know your win percentage. So I know my win percentage in this event was, I think I had 40 wins and 20 losses, maybe 19 losses. So I'm right around 65%. If you're around 60%, you're going to have to play 60 games. 60 games of 6 innings, that's going to take 20 minutes. I mean,
I think it's about 20 minutes.
It's say about 20 hours. In general, because what is it? So 3 games an hour. So you are going to have to you have to make that decision for yourself whether or not you can get that done. Some people can't. 10 days, 2 hours a day, give or take.
Yeah,
that's if you're at a 60 clip. If you go onto the Show Nation and log in and click on your universal profile, you can see your win-loss record. You can kind of estimate, because even though the win-loss record includes BR and it includes 9-inning ranked season games, all of that will go into it. And you normally, when it all shakes out, you're normally about the same in every mode. So,
yeah, it does. Yeah, I agree with that.
So we'll continue where we were, and we'll talk about the event later, as documented in the rundown. Thank you, gentlemen.
What rundown?
The one in your notes. Look it up. Jose Altuve, 97 to 99, plus 5 contact versus righties, plus 10 power versus righties. I mean, I still feel like I'm still waiting on the power that he should have gotten like last year. Plus 3 to contact versus lefties, plus 8 to to power versus lefties. Took a little hit on the vision, more discipline. Nothing else super special. Anybody got Jose Altuve and using him?
Negative.
No, the rookie, not that 200,000 card.
Yeah, no.
What about the big Zubat?
I don't have him either. No, and I know he's pretty expensive. No, he's like 40-ish right now. I think
you can get him for less than 40.
Yeah,
he got a plus I hate doing this math on the fly. Plus 7 hits per 9. Took a 5-point hit to home run per 9, but who cares about that? Gained 6 to his K per 9 and lost 1 to his walks per 9.
Out of curiosity, is it just me, or does it seem like that the live series cards are more expensive this year, like the top ones, than they were last year?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really feel like now that they've done this rescaling of diamonds, and now that what was like 92 diamonds and below are like common diamonds, I feel like those higher ones are like crazy expensive.
Yeah.
What did they call them? They had a name for that, didn't they?
The name for what?
Low-rated diamonds.
I think it's just called low-rated diamonds.
Yeah, just they just expanded the range.
Let's see. Dylan Betances stays a 90, but gained plus 2 to his hits per 9, gained plus 6 to his home runs per 9, but lost 8 to his walks per 9. So there you see some of that number magic that keeps you the same, but is going to hurt him technically overall.
Yeah, interesting. I feel like it was an interesting roster update. There were lots of ups and downs, and it just seemed like it was I thought it was very interesting, and I think it sets up the August updates very interestingly as well.
Reminder, don't forget that this upcoming update will only be moves. It will not be ratings changes.
And it will be Thursday.
Yes, and it will be Thursday, correct.
Yeah, I think they said there may be some residual rating changes, like if somebody switches positions.
Yeah.
But yeah, there will be no actual attribute upgrades or downgrades. It's just if they switch somebody from, closer to reliever or something of that nature, that, they might change their ratings a little bit.
Right.
So don't be all disappointed on Friday when you can't cash in all your, whatever silver guy you have 100 of still.
Mm. Next up, Aaron Judge got a +1 bump. Nothing changed to his hitting, but he did get +5 arm strength, plus 13 arm accuracy. So he's a much more formidable outfielder now.
Especially in right field. That the 80 arm strength actually plays decently, especially if you get a running start in right field. I know a lot of people were, iffy about putting him out there. He's playing more left field, I think, for people. But I think that makes him more of a, like I said, a realistic right fielder.
Yeah. Next up, somebody cover Mills' ears. Zach Britton takes a 4-point hit to his hits per 9, though Big Ups gets +8 to his home runs per 9. Takes a 4-point hit to his Ks per 9 and a 4-point hit to his walks per 9. Wow, so he would have been gold if they didn't mess with his home runs per 9.
And I think that was probably, he hasn't given up a home run. He's only got, 55 straight saves in the AL record, by the way. But, I don't quite understand it. He's been hurt, and I don't think anything else has changed. He's been hurt. How do you give him a -4 across the board, and then the home run per 9 when he literally hasn't pitched most of the year?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Seems like some of that market manipulation that people are saying is going on.
Maybe.
Next up, Raisel Iglesias going from, what did I say, 85 to an 87. He gets a +5 hits per 9, +6 home run per 9, and that's it. So, small bump, but nice.
Bumps are bumps.
Bumps are bumps. Let's go over to theshownation.com, see what we got over there. Did everybody do the Jeff Bagwell mission this week? No, obviously you didn't, Snaggle J, because you weren't here, huh?
No, I unfortunately was away.
I know Millennium finished it. The mission was get 10 hits with hardware legend Jeff Bagwell to celebrate his Hall of Fame induction. You can do that in any mode. And I know you did that, right, Mil?
I did. I was actually doing it while I was grinding some CPU versus CPU stuff for the Oswalt and for the Hanley Ramirez. And my legend was 91 Dave Steep. And I'm very happy with him. He does not have a ton of velo, but his stuff moves. He's kind of like the Oral Harshizer. His stuff moves everywhere.
So I did mine while I was playing PUBG. It was like 10 o'clock last night, and I was like, I could probably do this by starting Conquest games, having a bat lead off, get a hit on rookie, quit the game, and then just keep going back in. It took me, I think, 14 games to get to 10 hits, but it was well worth it because I pulled in my Legends pack a 97 Tony Perez, which if you're playing along at home, I actually pulled a couple weeks ago, and I've been debating if I'm keeping him at third base or if I'm going to sell him off. So now I can sell him off and not feel bad about it. So.
Yep, exactly.
And now I still have a non-sellable one. I mean, that Tony Perez is a really nice card and well worth taking a look at. The defense.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of his defense, but again, his bat is unbelievable. And now that you got him basically for free, I mean, you don't feel so bad about putting him on your bench.
Yeah, I paid about $2,000 for him. Well,
yeah,
less than that because I actually made $38,000 technically.
Yeah,
I was thinking about selling him anyway.
Yep.
Is it Millennium?
Yeah, me what?
Yeah, yeah, to you in the Discord.
Okay, it's that stuff.
I mean, it's not super specific, but it's more specific than stuff. I mean, we could probably figure it out. What's next on the rundown? I've already forgotten. Because you guys started talking about stuff in the Discord.
Sorry about that.
New Legends. Not lots and lots of new Legends came out. We got new hardware legend, Rollie Fingers, who's a 99 overall. 92 Fred McGriff. 91 Dave Steeb. Any of these guys you want to take a look at in particular? Bert Blyleven, Warren Spahn. Luis Aparicio. New Dave Winfield. New Cal Ripken. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's his Rookie of the Year card, which I kind of want just because it's there.
Yeah.
Oh, I think that's the one that he's what, like an 86?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I got him. I pulled him in the was it the weekly packs or whatever that it guaranteed a legend?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cal Ripken rookie was one that I got.
Nice.
Really good defense.
Yeah. 82 fielding, 93 arm strength, 83 arm accuracy.
And I think if I remember correctly, I think he might hit lefties half decently.
Yep. 74 contact versus lefties, 86 power versus lefties.
Yeah.
57-71 against righties, which isn't terrible, but
he could be an interesting card again if they have events where you're trying to keep your overall down.
Mm.
He could be a very interesting card to have.
Yeah. 60 speed, not too shabby.
No.
Any other cards worth looking at? Luis Aparicio, 86 contact versus lefties, 99 speed. Also 99 bunt. Get that Ched out there. 84 fielding, 79 arm strength. Isn't that great, but it's all right.
And that card art, though. That card art is the best part of this whole thing. Love it. I love that card art.
Let me pull that back up then so people can see it. Yeah. Old school.
It's pretty stellar. I'm not gonna lie.
Who doesn't?
Yeah. What they've done with some of these rookie card arts is so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got the Warren Spawn here. 99 stamina. Nothing super great. Everything's in the 60s or low 70s. He's all right. For an 88, he seems like
his stamina number bumps him huge in this. His pitches aren't bad. He's got some decent pitches. I have the 92 Spawn, and I really wish he had a changeup, but it's like fastball, curveball, sinker. It's not great, but
they don't show the.
No, they don't show it on the Show Nation. You have to do it on the Daddy Leagues, the Leagues of Daddy.
The Leagues of
The
Daddy.
Leagues of Daddy.
Which one's this? 88. Four-seam curve, screwball, slider and change.
Nice.
I would be super surprised, just for that guy named Ed in the chat real quick, I'd be super surprised if there wasn't another Ichiro at some point.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Especially, I really think that him having the 94 card that's locked behind Mike Trout is insanity. Like, there's got to be another one.
Bert Blyleven, same thing with the Spawn. Nothing great, but big stamina. 79 hits per 9 is his highest per 9.
He of the double curve.
Double curve, double fastball. Is he still double curve, double fastball? I swear, I hate that so much when they do that.
Yeah. I think the pitch mix is the same.
Is it Bert with an U or Bert with an E?
E.
Who names their children these things?
Movie, gaming, TV with the raid. Thank you guys for stopping over.
Thank you guys for coming by. Is that a 90? I think so, right? Yeah. Fastball, 12-6, curveball, two-seamer. He's got to change.
Ooh.
So they finally mixed
progress.
I like it.
Wow.
I like.
Wow, that actually might make him better. That might make him act well. Still 91 velo. I mean, 12.6 curve isn't bad. You know what? With the two curves being far enough apart, I think maybe it's worth something.
Maybe.
I don't know.
He's essentially the same thing as the Phil Hughes. Just Phil Hughes has a cutter instead of a changeup.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'll pass. Dave Steve. Some stuff in the
aforementioned.
Love it.
98 stamina.
Yeah, I have that card. I've used it. It's pretty good. Like I said, the per nines and the fact that he's got all kinds of movement allow it to be pretty good. He does not have the velo. He's like 92 mile an hour fastball, but everything moves that he has.
Posed should be like a 95.
Just probably, yeah. Well, in 85, did he have that fastball?
Yeah, that's true. I feel like if it was like an 87 or 88, Steve, like when he was throwing like a one hitter like every week,
right?
Maybe a little better. But
what was that, 91?
I hope they're done with Steve cards though. To be honest,
how many is that? Like 3 now?
That is 3, I believe. Yeah, because there's the rookie, there's the 85, and then there's the 91. Or is it? Yeah, I think there's 3.
There should be a 90 or 91 in there. I mean, 90 or 91 year, I would assume. 74, rookie, 85, and 91.
Yep.
What else we got here? New Fred McGriff. Actually, I kind of like this Fred McGriff better than the other one that they have. He's much more balanced. 76 contact versus righties, 73 versus lefties, 92 power versus righties, 89 versus lefties, 68 vision, 96 discipline, 58 fielding. That's really not going to play for anybody. But yeah, actually, and also huge fan of the 92 tops, and he's a 92. So bonus.
Yeah, agreed. Again, lots of interesting cards. I kind of feel like this was just like a dump. Like there was nothing really super spectacular in it. Well, it was just like, hey, we got a bunch of cards.
I think this is preparing for what's coming. Remember when they started rolling out all the when they did the All-Star event, and they're like, oh, hey, we don't have a lot of All-Star cards out there.
Guaranteed that these legend programs are going to have a requirement that you have X amount of legends, as the All-Star programs and the Impact Veteran programs have had before them. That you can take that to the bank. So, in order for you to have the legends, they obviously have to be in the game in some way, shape, or form. So, yeah, I agree 100%. They're definitely preparing for what is about to come.
Yep. Rollie Fingers 99. I've heard people have been really liking this card. I have not.
Yeah.
I have not used him. 91 hits per 9, 91 Ks per 9, 90 walks per 9, 87 home runs per 9, 88 clutch. I think he had a good pitch mix, if I'm also not mistaken.
I just like the Rollie Fingers that he's wearing the jacket in that card. I know it's, again, fantastic card art choices.
Sinker, slider, 4-seam, and split. Sinker and slider.
Yeah, and that's the splitter, I think, is what makes this different. I know a lot of people like the sinker, and the sinker and fastball both being close to the same speed helps, but that splitter at 84 and the slider being the same speed, especially with a 91 break on that slider, makes this card. I think that's what separates this card.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The fact that the fact you can do fastball, slider, splitter all come out of the hand the same way, but then all move. So I think that's why people love this card, rightfully so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the splitter has become kind of like it's starting to become a lost art. Where we're kind of more of like a fastball slider or like a sinking fastball trend. But yeah, even in terms of the game, the splitter is something different. It gives you that sharp downward movement, but with much less velocity than you would get on the sinker. It's a very interesting pitch that you can bring a guy in where you have not seen a pitch like that for 8 innings, and you can really fool some people.
Mm-hmm. All right, shall we get to the breaking news? Breaking news.
I mean, we could. I mean, we could talk about something else, or we could do that.
Talk about the breaking news. All right, I have confirmation from a source. I'm like the Joel Sherman of this nonsense.
Are you the fake Ken Rosenthal account?
I'm fake. I'm Woj Vert Ackle.
Ken Rosenthal.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the plan currently is that both Legend programs will be releasing tomorrow. Which
Nice.
They said they were shooting for Tuesday Tuesday would be the earliest. It looks like Tuesday is the answer. And I don't know if you've heard, a lot of people have been chattering online thinking that Dennis Eckersley is probably going to be one of them. The hints I have gotten are one has a mustache and one has a pretty face. So I feel like that kind of proves
pretty face.
a pretty face. So who's got a pretty face? We got to figure that out. One's got a mustache, so I'm feeling like that's Eckersley.
The other one's got to be Alomar then, right?
Does Robbie Alomar have a pretty face?
I mean, if you're gonna.
Before people go, because someone's going to say it, it's not Derek Jeter.
Definitely.
No, it's not Derek Jeter. No.
It is not Derek Jeter.
I mean, I can see Eckersley. Some people thought it would be Bagwell. I think we talked about this earlier. I don't think that they would do a Bagwell card right behind doing a Bagwell mission on the weekend.
It just seems weird that you're going to do all this. You're celebrating Bagwell, and the only card you have out for him is an 81.
Yeah.
You figure he's got to have a beast coming at some point.
Yeah, at some point he will have a card. I don't know that this is it. I have to believe that this is the Robbie Alomar. I just think no Bagwell. But the thing with Bagwell is Bagwell's had a goatee. His entire that's what he's known for.
I would expect if they were going to go with a Bagwell that you would get an entire Hall of Fame, like all three of them. You would have to assume, right? Mm-hmm. And perhaps there is. Where they're newly inducted in the Hall of Fame, perhaps there may be a licensing issue there before they can come out. Like again, I would expect if they're going to have a Bagwell Hall of Fame celebration card that you're going to have a Pudge and you're going to have a Tim Raines.
No, because I think they've said that there's not going to be any more new guys this year, right? I think we've seen all the new legends.
Adank, we're not saying it's another Tekken base. We don't know that it's Alomar. We're speculating.
Speculating at this point.
If you think Alomar has a pretty face, then he's high up there in your options.
I agree.
But yeah, we still have legend programs, mystery programs, postseason program, two more hardware programs, and 2 more mystery programs after that. So I'm trying to think. They never had like a real good run in the postseason. I don't know if Bagwell did off the top of my head. I'm trying to think. The only time he was in the postseason that was big was probably when they had Beltran?
I believe so. So we're looking for a pretty face of somebody who's already in the game.
Yeah, it does not look like Bagwell would have a postseason one. Yeah. He never really did much in the postseason.
Right. I was gonna say, are we just assuming that Eckersley is the pitcher at this point?
Yes.
Is all signs point to a 99 Eckersley?
The only Eckersley out there right now, I think, is like a super low one.
Yeah.
So
obviously he's going to be a reliever from that year where he had the absolutely ridiculous year.
Yeah.
The .64 ERA and which was what 87, 88.
Can you go to Seager? Can you go to a Seaver in the inventory by any chance and look at his card real quick, or look at his Tom Seaver?
Tom Seaver, the terrific one.
Yes.
Is it a Mets card or
any one of them? Any one of them is fine.
I have no idea.
I want to see him and see if he has a pretty face, because people were talking about Seaver and
maybe the stash is the hitter. Yeah, highly possible. Because I also heard, who it could be. The hitter could be Mikhail Jack Schmidt.
I've heard that as well.
Also mustachioed man.
Also, yeah. So then we're looking for a pitcher with a pretty face, perhaps.
Hold on, I like that idea. I like what Ahegs just said in chat. If it's not Eckersley, let's get the pitcher off of Eckersley for a second. What about Jim Palmer? He's already got a 90
pretty
card
face.
in the game.
Loves underwear.
He's got a gorgeous face. He's known for his face and his they should have given him underwear ad. Underwear ad should have been the hint.
Yes.
I mean, I'll give you that. Tom Seaver is a pretty face, I guess.
Yeah. So here's my question. Not being a huge Jim Palmer buff, does he have a season that would warrant a 99 card?
Yes, he's had a few of them.
Okay. Yeah. Not a huge Jim Palmer guy. So begs the question, right? Because you have to think, whoever it is, they have to have a season worthy of being a 99. Obviously,
3 Cy Youngs in 4 years for Palmer.
Okay, and the other thing is right now, all he has is a 90. A 90 is his top card. And I don't remember what year that is.
Going right now.
That's what I'm going. Yeah, find out what year that is, because if it is Palmer, that's a great pull. If it is Palmer, dude, I just went from 6 to noon. It's like immediately. Yeah, so he had 73, 74, 75. He was actually, or 73, he was in the MVP voting. He was second in MVP.
73 is the card that's there.
73 is the card that's there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Though
wow.
in 75, he did have a ERA of 0.31 lower. He had more strikeouts.
More wins. It's 23 wins.
So things that would
less
make up
walks.
ratings.
Yep, everything that would make his ratings better.
Yeah, walks per 9, Ks per 9.
Yep, 0.6 walks per 0.6 more strikeouts per 9. Over a walk less per 9. Home runs are about the same. Hits actually went up a little bit, but his whip was down about 0.1.
Adeg, I would argue with you that 73 is not his best year, even though he was most valuable to his team that year. Mm-hmm. I would argue that 75 was his best year. I'm not saying it's by a huge amount, but he did have an extra win. 73, he was in the MVP voting because of what his team was doing at the time. Mm-hmm. 75 was a huge year for him. And then 76 coming back in 76, and then ended up doing ended up coming right back and getting back-to-back Cy Youngs. The other thing is that what is his? You have his card up, right?
Yeah, and he's also going to have bumped up stamina if it's one of those cards, because he had
games,
5 more complete games in either of those seasons than 73.
Yeah, his highest ERA, as I'm saying, his highest ERA plus was in 75, and it's really not that close. It was 169 to 155, and an ERA plus, standards. That's pretty. 14 points is pretty decent when you get to, even when you get to above like 130, you're looking at a pretty good pitcher.
Yeah.
So, dude, oh my God, I would.
Yeah, that's a plausible scenario. I'm not gonna lie.
I would take off work for a week and just grind the entire thing. I 100% would.
Jim Palmer, Mike Schmidt is a very plausible scenario.
It's a good combo. Let's check out Mike Schmidt. I don't know what his card is in here. He had back-to-back MVP years.
Yeah. Well, he has a 99 from last year anyway, right? Mike Schmidt does.
Right. Technically it was a little different, but yeah.
Yeah. But at least it gives them a baseline, right, of what a 99 Mike Schmidt is probably going to look like.
Phillies, Mike Schmidt currently has an 89. And
Schmidt had a 99 last year too. Schmidt had a 99 and 100% deserves it with his fielding at third base and his power numbers at third base. Yeah, he absolutely would deserve that at some point too. So,
yeah, he's got a 1985 card, but neither of those are his 80 or 81 MVP seasons.
OJ is free, maybe a 99 Nolan Ryan, but do you consider Nolan Ryan to be pretty?
No.
I don't know that I can say Nolan Ryan's pretty
damn
and
good.
And I don't ever remember a time in his career where he had a mustache. So
no, he had eye black though. That was pretty gangster.
Yeah. And I'm very comfortable with saying that Jim Palmer is pretty.
All right, here's my question. Would you rather? Oh wow, he played 102 games and won MVP. Jesus, was there a strike in 81 or something?
Yes, there was something, I believe. Was there not?
In 80, it wasn't 80. There was no strike in 83.
81.
81.
81 there was, yeah. No, there wasn't one in 81, was there?
I hope so.
In midseason.
Oh no, there was. Yes, it was.
Second half.
It canceled 713 games in 81.
I was going to say,
canceled 781 games.
713 games is how many canceled total
Between all the teams.
Yes.
So that number is completely useless. Divide that number by how many teams there were in the MLB, and then by another 2, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, so here's the question. Do you want a Mike Schmidt that hit 286 with 480? I guess you can't really compare these because they're have different numbers of at bats. In 80, he hit 286 with 48 home runs in 150 games, And in 81, he hit 316 with 31 home runs in 102 games. Do the extrapolations.
Baffled. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Do the extrapolations. So I guess he probably would have hit about the same amount of home runs. So he probably went to 81.
Baffled. The answer to your question for F, Mary, kill for Seaver, Palmer, and Eck is F Palmer, Mary Palmer, kill the other two. Thank you.
Line them up, shoot them, shoot one through.
It's pretty harsh.
Hold on, I want to see that. Also, Tiger Man in the chat said it could be Ron Guidry. Just saying. He does have a mustache, known for the mustache. Obviously, it's not Rollie Fingers because we just got a Rollie Fingers card.
True.
Are there any other predominant mustaches in the game that we can think of that aren't coaches for the Marlins that don't have mustaches anymore?
Mattingly. Honestly, there's no known mustaches. So
I mean, Eddie Murray did have a pretty sweet mustache, if I remember correctly.
Predator. We're just talking about who they could be. We're speculating because we don't know for sure. That's actually a good one, Robin Yount. But doesn't Robin Yount have
a good one? Weasel. I noticed Weasel earlier mentioned
Brewers?
Steve Garvey as well.
Steve Garvey is pretty. Oh man, that hurts. That hurts.
Yo, 99 Doug Drebeck, another stash-tastic guy. Think about it. Who are we saying? Robin Yount?
Yeah.
What's he got already?
He's got a
93.
I was going to say, is the 93 out this year?
Yeah, 93. He's got a stash there.
Yeah, I do agree. And that was that year. A 78 Ron Guidry would be definitely, absolutely worthy of a 99.
I mean, it has given us more ammo for the Jim Palmer on Twitter. So that's what we're going with. We're going Jim Palmer and Mike Schmidt, we think. Our official guess.
I kind of feel like the Jim Palmer Mike Schmidt scenario is very, very plausible. My biggest thing is I know a lot of people immediately jumped on the Robbie Alomar bandwagon. I know he's had some good years, but I don't see a 99 card. I just don't. And that's hard for me to say because I love Robbie Alomar so much. And, dude had some years where he hit like 340 and played superb defense, but I just don't see a 99 card there.
Yeah, he never had like a super year, right?
Mike Schmidt has the 99 history. Jim Palmer obviously has, I've been educated on the stream, so he obviously has 99 potential there. Eckersley has 99 potential. I mean, there's a lot of ways this could go. But I think there's probably, 2 or 3 scenarios that would probably be more likely than others at this point.
All right. Those are our official guesses, I guess. Building my team.
Weasel in the chat. If it is Eckersley, will you need David Price to complete the mission?
Yeah, that was one thing that I was like, that would be really weird timing if that all came out.
Oh, that's great. I love topical humor.
Yeah, they're fighting about something I don't even know anymore.
It doesn't matter.
So you guys want to talk about this event? Have you guys been having fun?
Yeah, I just won a game 1-0 in 8 innings.
Hey.
Yeah, sure.
Changing fortunes. I mean, I know somebody here has Arrieta already.
Yes, somebody does, because somebody gets addicted to these events and grinds himself to death on them. No. So I talked about earlier how I wasn't a fan of the event. I take a little of that back. I think it's just playing that many games over the weekend may have gotten to me. Mm-hmm. It is. I just think that possibly vision wasn't the stat to go for.
Yep.
But I don't know that power makes it an advantage pitchers either, because there's so many high contact guys that you could use. I just think overall, and this is personal feeling, I don't think the feeling of everybody. When you start making the pitchers have the advantage, I think the game loses a little bit of its fun factor. And I just think that's in general. I'm a huge baseball purist. I love pitching. I love watching a 1-0 game in real life. It's one of the things that keeps me on the edge of my seat. But when I'm playing a game, I think it's more frustrating hitting and not being able to hit than it is pitching and getting beat up.
Right.
I just think in general. So
Millennium, let me ask you a question because, I guess TJ as well, because you guys have definitely played more events this season than I have. This is the first one where I've actually played more than a handful of games. Do you guys feel like the quit rate is higher in this event? Because I've seen people on social media seem to be pointing towards the fact that the quit rate has gotten a fair bit higher in this event than in previous events.
I mean, I haven't noticed that, but
I will say yes, 100%. I think about 10 of my wins were quits.
My first 4 wins were all quits.
Never quit. I only had one in my first 9 games. I think I only had one.
Yeah, and they're like not even quits where not like a season's quit where you put up 3 runs in the first inning and guy just bails. Like you get a leadoff single and the guy quits. Like again, not having played a lot of events, I can't say whether it's a trend, but just from what people are saying, they seem to feel like the quit rate, and I'm not sure why that is. If it's the fact that the event is 10 days and people are just trying to get as many games in as they possibly can,
that could be a thing.
It's hard to say.
Yeah, I initially thought this was only the weekend, and I was like, that seems like a lot, and I definitely didn't want to play it at all. But I did one run, got like 8 wins, and now I'm ready to go for another run. But yeah, now that it's 2 weeks or 2 weekends, I'm excited. I feel like there's gonna be a lot of those Arietas, so I assume that price is gonna come plummeting down.
Well, I think that's really awesome that it's 2 weekends too, because of 6-inning games. I don't think everyone's going to be able to do it because it is still a time investment, which I think makes the Arietta a very correct reward for it. Like I don't think I saw the quote unquote free Arietta thing from some people. I don't think it is. No. I think it's a significant time, again, especially if you're not winning 80% of your games. If you're down around the 60-65% clip like I am, you're putting 60 games in. And we said that's like 20 hours over 10 days. That is a very significant time investment, not to mention the fact that you still have to win those games.
Yeah. You're someone like me who's oh, sorry, go ahead. Finish your point.
No, sorry. The one thing that go ahead and talk, because I'm going to go on past the time investment after this. Go ahead.
Well, my thing is like where my struggle has come after having taken such a long break. And like I'm lucky since I've come back in the last 2 weeks to be winning 50% of my games. And that's why like I made the decision early. Like I didn't think I was going to have the time to invest in the event. I was away all weekend. I'm going to be away all this weekend. I have some umpiring this week, so I'm like I have like 3 nights that I need to put up 40 wins, which means I need to play the way I'm playing right now, 80 games in 3 nights. This is in my opinion is difficult, and the free Arietta thing just is definitely not true.
Guys, who's a reliever with high stamina?
The 83 Fergie Jenkins that was just released. Oh, sorry. Davinsky, does Davinsky have some? The ticket store Medlin actually has some.
How about a guy that?
Oh, I don't know who you have. So
Archie Bradley, what's his overall?
Let's just real quick. Let me talk while you're setting your team up. Let me also talk about the slight issue that I saw with this event that I think went around the community very quickly. I don't know that the Braun, that's the 12 win, is a significant enough reward to keep people going. I think that's where the quits are coming from.
Yeah.
I think people are, and I saw way more messages. The messages that I was posting on Twitter, hey, I'm at 24-0. Can you concede? Or hey, I'm at 11-1. Can you concede? I really don't want to lose this game. And in my head, I'm going, what, you really want to get to the Braun? The Braun is not. I don't think the Braun is a big enough card as a reward.
And
the Oswalt,
which is even worse.
Well, because of his defense. The Oswalt. I will say the Oswalt, on the other hand, is a very good reward. And there are people that have talked that said the Oswalt may be even better than the 93 Oswalt.
Mm-hmm. The Oswalt's a 9 win, right?
Yes, the Oswalt's a 9 win. It's currently up on the store for 9,099 buy, 7,720 sell.
Well, and that's about $6K less than it was this time last night.
Right. So I would maybe hold out a little bit longer, keep an eye on it. But I think if you're not willing to grind for the 93 Oswalt, I think this Oswalt is very much worth it.
Yeah. People.
So yeah.
I've seen people saying a lot of good things about the Eddie Murray as well. Again, I mean, at first base, it's a very deep spot.
Mm-hmm.
But again, if you're willing, if you have the time to put in to get to 25 wins, it's again another, above average card that you can add to your team. And 25 wins is, definitely within reach for a good number of players.
Well, let me put it to you this way. We're going to talk to two different types of players going into this game, talking about Eddie Murray. If you are a player that relies on a higher vision, a higher contact rating to do your hitting, and it's okay that you do that. If you don't have the PCI placement that some others do, and you would rather get your base hits and move guys around, this Eddie Murray is the first baseman for you. You want to get this Eddie Murray, but he has a significant power downgrade against lefties. If you are somebody that would rather, which is hilarious that he's a good contact hitter considering this event was for low vision guys.
Yeah.
But if you're somebody that relies on power at your corner end field spots or power in general, and you have very good PCI placement and don't have to worry about the size of the PCI, then this Eddie Murray probably is not going to be the first baseman for you in a very, very stacked position.
Yeah.
So I agree that you probably want to look elsewhere than this Murray if you are a PCI, if you're good with the PCI.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Eric Hosmer is my current first baseman of choice, so let's go Eddie Murray.
Yeah, so Eddie Murray is definitely what you want to go with then.
Yeah. Or get that 92 Fred McGriff.
No.
Those
I
defenses.
currently platoon Hosmer and Zimmerman, depending on IE boosts.
Aiden K in the chat says 93 Eddie Murray is like the 93 Buddy Bell. Their hitting is nearly identical, but Buddy Bell's defense is way better, and he plays much more valuable positions, in my mind.
Well, if he plays like the Buddy Bell does, look out.
I'm looking.
I will say that so comparing the Oswalts, by the way, just in case people were wondering, the 89 Oswalt has a velo boost of about 2 miles an hour on his fastball and his sinker. The Oswalts, we're going to talk 89 Oswalt real quick. He has plus 80 on break on all of his pitches, except 92 on his slider, but only 67 on his change. He has control of 92 on his fastball, 70s for the rest of his pitches, except his changeup, which is 57. Looking back, and his BB over 9 is 70. Let's see here, 77. The 93 has a significant K over 9 decrease. The 89 has 83. The K over 9 for the 93 is 69. Whereas the hits over 9 is significantly better for the 93, 94 to 72 of the 80, of the lower Oswalt. So you're looking at a strikeout pitcher with the 89 as opposed to a probably pitch to contact to an extent with the 93. It depends on what you want to go with. It's much cheaper to go with the Oswalt right now, with the 89 Houston Oswalt right now.
Right.
Man, I still like the control. I like the control boost of the 93 better. I like the better hits over 9 to lower that PCI a little bit. But there is definitely a case that the 89 Oswalt could be more effective in this game.
So you got the Arrieta, right?
Yes.
How is he?
I have not used him yet.
What are you waiting on?
For him to pop up.
I didn't even get up to Oswalt, so now I'm just going to kind of make the run for Arrieta. I'm not going to quit, though, because I'm not a quitter like some people. Little known fact, you can come back down 2 runs in your last at bat. Get dub.
Exactly.
More breaking news, by the way. Not great, not fantastic breaking news, but just a heads up that at 6 a.m. Eastern tomorrow, 3 a.m. Pacific tomorrow.
Let me guess.
There will be server maintenance, yeah, which is a normal Tuesday/Thursday thing. But just as a heads up, make sure all your games are completed before then, especially if you're grinding. Do not lose a game because of server maintenance.
Yep. Also, we said that the roster update this week is going to be Thursday. Only players changing teams. No attribute changes unless they move a position. And they might get a bump. I don't know if anybody that got traded is going to move a position to get a bump.
I can't think of anybody.
Tim Beckham, maybe.
If I accept a friendly quit, does that break everything?
What do you mean? No, I mean, if you accept a friendly quit, that just means that he wants to quit. If it's 0-0 in the first inning, I would accept it.
Isn't there like a thing going on, though?
What?
Oh, no, just make sure you hit the right button, that's all. There's people trying to...
Oh, no, so what people are trying to do now is they run the timer almost all the way out, and at like 2 or 1 second, they'll give you a friendly quit. And because accepting the friendly quit is the same button as...
concede when they run out their time, yeah.
Yeah, forcing a concede. What you end up doing is accepting the friendly quit.
Interesting.
People always be cheating.
Why? Sent to the queue. Attaboy. My favorite place.
Look you.
I assume that will get lost. I had another win in ranked seasons, and that went to the queue and got lost, and never heard from him.
Casey Hagan just had a question in the chat. How long does server maintenance normally last? Honestly, dude, we would be remiss to give you a time.
Yeah.
We would be.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's 3 hours. Sometimes I think it's been like 6 hours.
Yeah, so I would just keep an eye on MLB The Show _tips or MLB The Show. Both of those will tweet out when it's back up and running. So, Program's tomorrow, Frosty. The program is tomorrow.
2 of them, not just one.
Two Legends program. One of them is a pretty face. One of them has a mustache. Make your own choices.
Yeah.
Well, our choice is Mike Schmidt and Jim Homer. That's what we guess.
Fair enough.
Bill, do you have flashback Chris Davis?
I do not have flashback Chris Davis. I've heard good things, especially in terms of events.
Yeah, he's. I've been seeing him a lot.
Oh, wait a second. I'm sorry. You're talking about the flashback Oriole Chris Davis?
Yes.
Yes, I have him. He is a monster power number.
Were you using him in these events?
Yeah, I've been using him in the event. Yeah. The only other one I've used in the event at first base was for a very quick minute. I used Logan Morrison because he's an inside edge boost.
Yeah.
But yeah, the hints are fact. The hints are a fact. Anything past that is speculation.
Yeah.
Any names you see are speculation.
Yeah,
or here.
Be out tomorrow.
Yep.
Pretty face and mustache.
Yep. Someone's asking in the chat my thoughts on the Liriano trade. I like it. Period.
Someone was saying that he might go to the bullpen to start with.
That's fine. The Astros would be smart to put him there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he's an animal out of the bullpen.
And then someone asked my thoughts on the Beckham trade. I mean, we needed a shortstop because Hardy's probably out for the year. So
yeah.
Other than that, I hate every trade the Orioles made.
Also, if you want that 93 Buddy Bell on the Rangers, you might want to go pick up Adrian Beltre. Well, Adrian Beltre's price has already started to skyrocket.
Yeah, he's already up around $25K.
Yeah, because Darvish is going to leave that set and go to the Dodgers. So Beltre is going to be the lone. Beltre's gold, right?
Lucroy is also is also a gold.
Oh, and Lucroy is also going away.
No, Lucroy is a silver.
Oh, is he?
Down. Yeah, he moved down.
That's right. So
you were. Snaggle J, you were right. Wrong name. Don't forget that Cole Hamels just dropped from gold to silver. So, Beltre might be the only gold on that team.
He is the only gold on that team now, and after this update, he will be. Hey, wait a second! You're playing BCNYY.
Sure.
He is a viewer of my channel and was in here.
Are you sure?
Yes, 100% sure.
BCNYY02, shout out to him.
LaCroix's not a Rocky yet. Well, I mean, he's a real life baffle. I'm just talking about. We're talking about the roster update.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that'll be Thursday. Look for that. I don't know if packs are going to change that day.
I would think the packs would come out then. Maybe.
Oh, show me those wheels, Springer. Come on, sir. What was the other Q&A thing? And then the next attribute upgrade will be August 11th.
Yes.
So be ready for that. Ooh, throwing gas over here.
Be ready for that.
Also, $3.99 overalls will be added on August 1st, which is tomorrow. Right, that's tomorrow. Yeah.
Yes.
As flawless rewards for Battle Royale.
Yes, that's correct.
And this Thursday, along with that roster update, are going to be the Player of the Month, I believe. Yeah.
Yes, I think they said they're going to be Thursday this week.
Yeah. So if you want that Gary Sanchez, go get him now before he leaves.
He's gone forever.
Yeah. What if they'll end up putting him back on later at the end of the year or something?
Hard to say. And what is there? There's 14 days left on the new season.
Yeah, that sounds accurate.
I think it's runs till the 14th.
Who's his catcher? Gary Sanchez.
Yeah, ranked seasons. It doesn't run to the 14th.
So much going on.
By the way, guys,
Mills is still laughing at his "Gone Forever" reference.
No. I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing because I'm attempting to get Scope another a Player of the Month card. Anyway, so what was I saying? Oh, the ranked seasons, guys. If you are playing ranked seasons, please do yourself a favor and try to get the championship series. That Eric Gagne is worth it in terms of that card. The Ralph Kiner would be worth it if you can get the World Series as well. But that Eric Gagne, I used him in BR. That Eric Gagne is straight filthy.
Yeah, go out there, get yourself Eric Gagne so that the price can go down and I can swoop him for real cheap.
Yeah, no kidding.
Also, if you're playing ranked seasons and you match up with stupid _danger, please just concede.
Yeah, just do it.
So that I can get Eric Gagne.
Yeah, can you tell
without having to work?
Can you tell BCNYY to give me a hot concede real quick? That'd be great.
Yeah, hot concede, right? Damn, stream snipers.
He's calling a lot of timeouts. I don't know. Maybe he's trying to hack me or something.
He's leg switching.
That might be it.
Yeah, it hacks.
Tips just reminded me that there will be maintenance tomorrow morning. So be ready for that. Like we said. Also, I will be on, what are these guys' shows' name? I'll be on this week in MLB The Show.
With Coop and the Weasel.
With Coop and the Weasel.
Nice.
Apparently.
Also,
I thought we won. I thought we won. I don't have to go on that show, but apparently
right.
I'm a loving guy and I'm going to go on.
Also, go buy yourself a whole bunch of Steve Pierce cards because he's absolutely on fire right now.
You going to get that bump?
2 walk-off slams in the last 4 to 5 days.
You going to get that bump, though?
White hot.
If there's a Steve Pierce Player of the Month, I will go absolutely insane.
You know what I'll go insane
I don't
for?
know. I don't know if he's been hot enough to be Player of the Month material, but I mean, again, in the last 5-6 days, he has 2 walk-off slams. He's playing pretty well right now.
Well, remember the note on the Mike Zunino card that I got is that he had a couple of multi-home run games. So I don't know.
And Kutch just hit what? Kutch just had a 3-homer game. So watch out for that. Maybe we'll get a power boost. Does anybody want a power boost touch?
I mean,
are you still using that other one, the flashback?
the 95. Oh yeah,
how's that going?
it comes and goes. I mean, I like them. I use the 95 McCutcheon in ranked seasons. It depends on IE boosts. Some days I'll sit him in favor of Charlie Blackmon. Some days it'll be Starling Marte. It all depends how my lineup is doing that day. I'm always trying to get lefties in there, so that makes it a bit difficult on some days. But yeah, he's a pretty good card. It's good defense. Again, he doesn't do anything exceptionally, which is pretty much the run of the mill for most of the epics. I mean, they're good cards, but they don't do anything particularly exceptional. So
I feel like Brad Rock's never going to get a boost.
nope. 84 forever.
He's good, but you got to remember, he's good, but he's been good for a while.
Just
so
give me a bump. He's got better hits per 9.
Just switch him to gold for a hot minute.
Just a hot minute. Can we go back to moving him to closer, get him a boost? That'd be great. So, did Britton get traded? Yeah, he got traded. Did he?
No, he did not.
He did not?
No. I know Millennium skipped a couple breaths there this afternoon.
Liriano was the only one that got traded, right?
From the out of the AL East?
to the Astros. Weren't they talking about the Astros as a possible landing spot for
Britain they were talking about Britain and the Astros for a while. He was also linked to the Dodgers for a while.
And the Indians popped up
for a while.
for a few minutes. Yeah,
that was interesting.
Yeah, because that's what the Indians need is more arms in their bullpen.
Well, the best part for me today was the fact that Zach Britton didn't get traded, and immediately after that, Dan Duquette goes, "Oh yeah, we're still in it. We're going for it." And then trade for Tim Beckham. The two big gets for the Orioles, by the way, Tim Beckham and Jeremy Hellickson. That's what's going to push us over the top. Right before he decided to put Mark Trumbo in the 10-day DL.
Hey, Jeremy Hellickson has a flashback card in this game, so.
Jeremy Hellickson,
unrelated.
It might be better than four of our 5 pitchers. And it doesn't mean a damn thing because he probably shouldn't be starting in the AL.
Yeah.
Oh, coming back to the Rangers is that Jeffries guy, the closer from the Brewers. So,
straight
Jeffries.
fire. Yeah.
is he a silver? I think he's a silver.
Yeah, get your Brewers done now, because even though he's a silver, there's gonna be a couple of probably more expensive Brewers too. With Braun, I think Braun is still the only gold there though. So,
Yeah.
which is crazy. You know how good they've been, like in terms of this year, and they're doing it with young, above average players.
I believe Villar was gold to start the year, and he dropped down to silver.
Possibly, yeah.
No, I think he's.
He's bronze now. I'm sorry. I think he started at gold.
Yeah.
I think he's down to bronze now. I can double check that.
Yeah, let's see. I saw in the chat the Steve Pierce breakout card. Yeah, the Steve Pierce breakout card is awesome, and people know that. That's why he's still up around like 7,000, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, and the Brewers thing. I've had 92 Lucroy since about the first week of the season. It's there are definitely some catchers that eclipse Jonathan Lucroy at this point, especially the 99 Molina, which can't imagine there's going to be a better catcher card out this year. But if you're looking on the cheap, the 92 Lucroy is nice.
Are you saying that playing Victor Martinez is not a better play than 99 Molina?
Yeah,
I will. Don't trigger me. Don't trigger me in this friggin'
that 99. That 99 Molina is the best catcher card available. Will be available. There's nothing going to top it.
I do like in the chat. There are people down there saying the 99 Mauer might do it.
That would be nice.
The defense isn't going to be there.
There
like
are people
with the Molina.
There are people that truly believe that catcher defense does not matter. I will tell you this right now.
They don't throw low pitches then.
I think it does. Well, they're saying that catchers in general, no matter what their blocking is, have issues with low pitches. I've used the Molina in about 5 games. I'm telling you right now, it matters. It absolutely matters.
With the number of speed guys that are available in the game, even just from an arm strength factor, you got to have it behind the plate. You absolutely have to have arm strength behind the plate. Again, I think if you bring the 99 Mauer out in whatever form, how similar it looks to last year, I still think that 99 Molina is better.
I was right. Villar started as an 85, dropped to 82, now he's 79. But speed's still 98. Hence why he's in my event squad.
Nice.
Slappy dappy. Ugh. Come on. So what have you guys been doing recently? You got any new cards that you've been playing around with? We've been playing the event a lot, so haven't had a lot of time to try new stuff in the regular team.
Yeah. I recently acquired 92 Cueto. I did one of those exchange, a whole bunch of people to get an all-star that you can't get rid of. Mm-hmm. And I got 92 Cueto, which is nice. It's a nice addition. Again, he becomes my highest overall starting pitcher, which is more of a testament to how bad my team is. But
that's what happened when I finally got the breakout. The guy the Catfish Hunter, I think it is, that you get for doing innings with NL Central or AL West pitchers, something like that. I'm surprised we haven't seen a new Conquest thing yet.
Yeah. No offense. I see it in the chat that Cap use your creative player at catcher. I do not use my creative player. I have not even created a creative player in Diamond Dynasty. I don't care if you do, but I don't use creative player. I think it's stupid.
I use mine at second base. I've heard a lot of
I don't use it out of protest.
Yeah, I get the cap thing, and for a competitive advantage, I fully agree that a cap at either catcher or probably second base is your best way to go. That all being said, I will say this, that the Molina is the Molina is probably the best catcher, and if you use the Molina, like get him in a BR or something, you will see the difference. And Mr. November says that stealing is quote unquote broken, and you guys know how I hate that word, but you can absolutely catch 90 speed guys with 80 strength arms. I've done it. I've done it multiple times before I had the Molina. You have to pay attention to the runner.
Yeah,
you have to throw over.
If you're letting them go, if you're keeping the same tempo and letting them go on the same jump every time, you're going to get tore up. I've been throwing out guys with Gary. Nobody throws my runners out when they have Gary Sanchez, but I throw out everybody with Gary Sanchez because I think I know what I'm doing when I have a guy on base or when they have a guy on base. Same with Salty. I have great success with him.
I wouldn't say at all that people don't know what they're doing, quote unquote, but I think people are so concentrating on trying to get the hitter out, you have to pay a little bit of attention to the runner. Like, you absolutely have to.
Yeah.
It's kind of I was gonna say it's kind of funny that they talked about the humanity AI in the preseason, right? And the cat and mouse gameplay, and it was something they talked about. It was that back of the box buzzwordy kind of stuff. But it's kind of funny because when it comes to base running in this game, that's kind of how you have to play. Throw a slide step in there. If the guy takes a step, throw over. Like, there really are people who have absolutely no strategy when there's runners on base. And I mean, for me personally, I'm going to take advantage of that every time I can because you're trying to win the game. If I can squeak out a steal with a 75 speed guy because I know exactly when you're going to throw the ball and you're going to use your full windup every time. I mean, that's the thing, is you have to be able to play to the situation. You can't just assume, stealing's broken because I can't defend it.
Yeah,
it's not broken. It's just easy.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to throw in a slide step, vary your timings.
The other thing you can do too is, so you're facing, and I'll answer this because Eric NP asked specifically what are the throw out runner techniques. So there are a couple things you can do. First of all, if you're facing against somebody that's just locking in a steal, which means just tapping L2 and letting the computer do their own jump.
That's how your boy does.
So you want to throw over a couple times. Use both the throw over with the hold of the button. So you hold L2 and then hold the base you're going to. Normally circle for first, and also use the hold L2 and tap. There are two different moves, and yes, they both have a different. If you use both of them, it has an effect. Second thing you want to do, and I've heard differing opinions on this from differing people that in the know. Change your pitching cadence. And what I mean by that is that, and change the times you throw over. When you come to a complete set, count to 1. And then the next time you pitch, count to 2. And the next time you pitch, count back to 1, and then to 3, and then bounce around that. The other thing is, too, I think in my experience, holding the ball before you throw over. Now, if somebody doesn't take an extra step, you're not going to get a pick off unless they take an extra step. You still want to throw over because it will affect an automated jump. That's that lock in with the L2. But if someone takes an extra step, throw over. Over. Constantly throw over, because one of two things is going to happen. Either you're going to pick them off, which happens even. I've picked off Jonathan VR.
Oh, yeah.
On an extra step. With a right-handed pitcher, not a left-handed pitcher. Hasn't happened often, but it happens. That extra step is the worst thing people can do, unless no one's paying attention. The other thing you can do is, now, let's say someone's manual stealing, which means they're holding the L2 and waiting to release it till you move. What you want to do is you can hit L1 to step off, and they will start running. That's the other thing you got to watch out for. So you got to step off. The best advice I give you is mix up how you're trying to get back. Make sure you pay attention. Throw a pitch out once in a while. If you're at a 2-1 count and you're pretty sure the guy is going, and you're pretty confident that you can throw a strike, you know what? Throw a pitch out. Try to get him. So,
yeah, I usually don't do pitch outs. I do like outside strikes that I can throw the guys. The problem is with pitch outs, I feel like they can turn around and go back to first really easily this year.
Well, here's the other thing too, is that, and this is something you have to practice. I've started doing this and getting people with this. If you can kind of see out of the corner of your eye when you're getting the catcher meter, if the guy turns around, there's a very split second that you can see it. If you see it, then push the first base button and throw to first base. If you have throw canceling on, you can cancel directly into a throw to first base. And if that guy turns around, he's dead to rights at first base.
Yeah.
So it's not easy. It is something that you will screw up once or twice trying to do it. But you have the ability, once you've let go of the triangle, make sure you still get your green meter, and then push the circle and go the other way.
Yep.
You're also talking about mixed synchro cadence. Even do that just when you're pitching without guys on base. Because people will get into the habit of you come to the set and you just go. You come to the set and you just go. Come to the set and you just go. And they can pick up on that, and that can get them into a rhythm when they're hitting. I've seen a lot of times where if I have 2 strikes on a guy, I'll just take an extra second, and they won't hit the next pitch. Just
one of my one of my favorite things is when you have guys that pitch from the stretch to throw a slide step in there when there's nobody on. Again, you're taking a risk, obviously, because the meter speeds up, and it's. But again, if you're pitching to a guy with someone from the stretch and he's fouled off 5 or 6 pitchers in a row, you need to make the change. And again, I will slide step when there's people not on base, a la Roberto Osuna in real life. And I mean, it works. Again, it's all about varying what you're doing.
And don't play questionable defensive players in the office.
Also a problem.
Also, guys, can we talk about something for real right now? Keep a catcher on your bench. Because I cannot hit JD Martinez for Gary Sanchez if I don't have something to cover him.
Here's the one thing about that. Let me insert some things that I've heard going around the community. So there is a rumor going around, and there have been some people that tested it. I don't know for 100% sure. I will say that just up front. That if you do not keep a backup player for a position on your bench, there's zero chance for injury to that player.
Okay.
So there can be a case to be made that if you have a catcher that you have no intention on pitch hitting for, no intention on pitch running for, so if you have like a Wilson Contreras, where he's got 63 speed, so it's good enough, that you keep one catcher and not one on the bench, because if there's not one on the bench, he won't get hurt. I've been doing this recently. I did this in the event too. I have not had an injury to the catcher, and I've been diving everywhere, like purposely trying to injure my catcher.
I don't think I've ever had an injury to a catcher, and I always have a backup.
I've had a dive. I've had a catcher injured to a dive, but not since I started doing this. Not saying it's true, and if you get injured, it's not on me. I'm just telling, it's not on me. There have been people smarter than me that tested this that have said that there is no injuries to a player if they don't have a backup on the bench.
Yeah. I mean, I've never had an injury to any of mine, and I do not, in ranked seasons, have a main position catcher on the bench. I have Dale Murphy on the bench, who's primarily a first baseman, but has catcher eligibility. And yeah, I haven't seen an injury to the catcher, and I've been doing this for quite a while.
What's Wilson Contreras' speed?
63.
It's not terrible.
I mean, it plays. Let's put it that way.
He could score from second on a single if you need to. Is it?
Yeah, 64 speed, I think.
63.
63.
Yeah.
Right. I was gonna say I've been using him in this event, and I know he's like, he's got a little bit of wheels, a little bit more wheels than the usual backstop.
Snoop Dogg says in the chat it's definitely true. I mean, without having a confirmation from a dev saying that, I can't say 100% it's true, but it looks to be. So that might be something you guys want to keep in mind.
That was the thing with Madden too, right? Didn't they have that? Did they change that? Or?
Madden didn't have off-ball injuries.
Oh,
it didn't matter. Oh, you mean you're talking about for the quarterback? So if you didn't have a backup quarterback, right? That I don't know. I'm not aware one way or the other of that.
I just got hosed on an animation.
You gotta bring that punter in, yo.
Always got a punt. That was the best I think it was game day, the original. They weren't really good. I mean, I guess now they would technically be nano blitzes, but depending on which blitz you sent, sometimes the center would just be like, I'm going to go guard someone else and not the nose tackle right in front of my face. And you could just walk through their offensive line. I literally hurt all three Panthers quarterbacks, and Kim Biaka-Batuka was taking snaps. Pretty dope times.
I mean, that just sounds like something that Biaka Batuka could have just been doing anyway.
I mean, he probably should have been.
He was that good.
We're 2-1 breaking this game.
Nice.
Getting hosed on calls, though. So, I mean, if we want to start wrapping this up, there's a good chance I'm either going to lose, or we're going extra innings, or it's going to be real questionable.
Any more? Is there any more questions from the chat while we have you guys?
We used to have some questions from last week, like Slump Busters. What do you do, got at Slump?
Please tell me.
I feel like we've always mentioned stuff like changing up your, maybe change your pitching, change your hitting camera, stuff like that. Always seems to just change up something.
It's funny you mentioned that. I actually went back to wide camera in the last 10 games and immediately showed difference. It's just for me personally, and you're going to hear a lot of people say strike zone, which is very, very possible. I mean, it's a very good camera that a lot of people like. Offset zoom. Some people like fisheye. For me, the wide camera is just the easiest for me to see pitches and time pitches. I still have issues with some, like straight anything change up straight in the zone. I'm still a bit. But like for me, wide camera just works. So if you're having a problem with a slump, try a different camera and try it for 5 games and see what happens. You may know right away that it's not for you. Well, you don't know. Like you don't know until you try. Don't be so blinded that you're not open to other ideas.
Yeah, and I know I've said it before too. Like my first thing, and again, I've been struggling for a few days now, and the first thing I try to do is just try to maybe replace a guy or two in your lineup. Maybe throw a few higher vision players in there if you're not using them. Just somebody who has a bigger PCI might help you make a little bit more contact. And one thing I always, and I fail at miserably trying to do it, but is I try to take more pitches when I'm not hitting well. So the last few days, I've been pitching very well. I've actually, in ranked seasons, I've lost 1-0 4 times in the last 2 days.
And you sent GGs to all those guys, correct?
I did. I do. I'm a GGer. If you beat me 1-0 and don't bunt cheese me to win, I will GG you absolutely. But so my thing is take more pitches. Try to get a better feel for the zone. It's not going to kill you to take a strike or to take 2 strikes depending on the situation.
Or just put down your controller and walk away from
It's actually good to take a strike too. If it's like a low in the zone strike, or if it's on the edge of the zone, there's a good chance you're going to pop it up or ground it out. So
and one thing that a lot of people don't do, and I literally cannot recommend this enough. The very first thing you should do as soon as you get into a head-to-head game is look and see what the other guy has in the bullpen.
And on the bench. And on the
bench. Because if you look, you need that information. If a guy has, 99 Bob Feller on the mound, and you look and he's got silvers and bronzes in the bullpen, you're going to work him. You're going to take pitches. You're going to get him to 2-2 every single batter and try to get him out of that game. That is information that you should have at the beginning of every single game. What's he got on the bench? Maybe he doesn't have a lefty killer on the bench. Maybe he doesn't have a backup at this and that of position. So you can kind of exploit that and take advantage of that potential weak spot in his lineup. Again, and those are very important things when you're struggling, because when you're struggling, you're going to play a lot of close games. So being able to say, hey, listen, I know he doesn't have a lefty killer on the bullpen, so I'm going to bring Justin Wilson in and I'm going to ride him and try to get 2 innings out of him because I know he's got nobody. That can help you make the difference between winning and losing a game.
Also, know who their catcher is. To know if you can know who their catcher is, and know if you really get into it, if you know outfield arm strengths, to know if you can try to take an extra base. But catcher's one, I always forget to look at the main loading screen, and you'll see me pretty much every game when I get a guy on first base. The first thing I will do is go look at who their catcher is, because if they have someone with a weak arm, Victor Martinez, you know that you can go, mid 80s, you're almost guaranteed to steal off them. Low 80s is going to be a little questionable. If they got a guy like Yadier back there, don't even move. Just glue yourself to first base. Yeah, with some of the really bad catchers, you can start stealing third base off them pretty easy. And I mean, always watch how the other person plays. If they're in the set, they go to the pitch and they just go every single time, you can maybe get a double lead off second base and just take third, no problem. Same with first base. First base is a little hard to get the double lead off of. Yeah, pick up the clues that everything that they're giving you, take from them and use it against them. If they're always trying to strike you out with an up and in fastball, look up and in, and then you can crush it rather than having to guess up and in and then just popping it up to the shortstop.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you don't know how to look at the bench, you pause the game, go to batting order, and then push R1. You can see who's on their bench. So if they're stashing like a Jake Lamb, waiting for you to put a righty in from your bullpen, if they're trying to bait you into a righty matchup, so that way they can bring Lamb off the bench and you can't, bring a guy out. That way
Oh, also, I don't know if you guys know. You guys know how to pitch out, right? L1
Yes.
and X.
Yes.
Yep. Did you know L1 and circle is an intentional walk if you're at the 8-hitter and let's say there's a guy on second base and there's one out, or I guess you'd rather have do it with 2 outs, but force their pitcher to hit. Make them get a hit with their pitcher and not let their 8-hitter beat you because you're just like, well, I'll just get the 8-hitter out, and he hits a single and drives a guy in.
Or make them sub their pitcher out, and then you get to their bullpen.
Especially when it's earlier than they want to take them out. If their bullpen's weak, if you can force that earlier, that's an even bigger advantage for you.
It's kind of funny that all of these tactics are from real life baseball. You would almost think we're playing a simulation of real life baseball.
Why do you do that?
Mm-hmm. Zach asks, why intentional walk rather than just pitch around a guy? My answer is because you never know.
Yeah,
you might miss the meter and he crushes one oppo on you, or
yeah,
exactly.
Or you throw a wild pitch trying to do it, and he takes third base. So I feel like it's just safer to use the intentional walk if you're going to walk a guy.
Yeah. If you're going to pitch around a guy, you had better be ready to live with the consequences if you hang one.
And if you're 3-0 on a guy and you feel like all you're going to do is groove one, just put him on. Don't let him hit a home run. Don't
know who's on deck.
Yeah. So pay attention.
And know who's on deck. And if the guy is 4 for 4 with him in the game, or if the guy's 0 for 4 with him in the game, it's, and again, I mean, again, this is all very good tips for every game you play, but it ratchets up in importance when you're struggling, because again, any little tidbit of information could be what you need to win a baseball game. And then when you get that feeling and you win 1 and then you win 2 and then you win 3 out of 4, then all of a sudden that slump is in the past, and then you're doing this stuff without thinking about it every single game.
Yeah. It's much more important when you're struggling to do this stuff, because when it's more important to do it when you're actually playing good, because if you're just cruising, you will pitch to that 8-hitter that's going to beat you, rather than if you're struggling, you might walk him and go to face the pitcher.
Yeah.
So
confidence in this game is a dangerous thing.
Mm-hmm. And I have one more thing that I think might be the most key. You have a 3-minute pause timer or 2-minute to start. You get extra every time. If you get frustrated, if you get angry, if you get, if you start complaining to yourself about the game, if you're starting to yell about very specific things, do yourself a favor, pause the game, sit the controller down, stand up, walk away, stretch, breathe, whatever you need to do. Take a minute. No one uses their full. Well, not many people use their. Go calm yourself down. Number one, because you will play better if you're calm, and number two, it's just not fun. It's not fun to just drive yourself into the ground playing the game. Believe me, I know after this weekend, I had a couple of unfortunate rage moments that I don't normally have. And that's because I was trying to push as hard as I possibly could. So, take a break. It's okay to take a break. Just do it.
Take a break. Go in the Bullpen Banter Discord. Be like,
Yes.
guys, I need to chill out for a minute. We'll help you. I have a personal rule. If I lose once, I'm done. I'm going to take my play session. I'm going to go away for a little bit, and then I'll come back. Because I know if I lose 2 in a row, your boy's going to lose his mind. So I lose one, go do something else, get a little PUBG in. Maybe, even if it's just hop over, play, what else we got here? We got the NHL beta, we got the PES beta. Hop into some Rocket League, play some Playgrounds, get a little Hitman going on. Sometimes you literally just need to put the controller down, not play MLB for a little bit, and then come back to MLB. It's still here, it's still on your console, disc still in the system. So yeah, I think that's a good set of advice for everybody, right?
Yes.
Agreed.
Yes.
I think that's going to do it for tonight's show. Thank you guys all for watching. We really appreciate it. You can follow me on Twitter at ThatSportsGamer. Snaggle J, where can I follow you?
At Snaggle J on all of the things.
All of the things. Mills Gaming TV, the current new rebranding of what used to be Millennium OS. Chris, tell them about it.
Hi. I changed my name. Everything else is the same. It's Mills Gaming TV.
Remember when
Twitter.
he was on Operation Sports and didn't play sports games? Now it's just not
Yeah,
Operation
right.
Sports anymore, and he's
They
still
may have
plays
changed
sports
the
games.
name, but the beat is still the same.
I mean, I don't know that I beat anything. I just
Yeah,
play games.
that's what I mean. It's still the same.
Oh, you said beat, and I was like,
Non-existent.
No,
I don't beat
he was
things.
thinking of beating something else, but we all have follow buttons. Hit those follow buttons. Help us out. We all got faces. Ops bump. Ops bopsum, whatever it is.
I have a lot of emotes. I'm sorry, I don't know what they're called anymore.
Snaggle. We all got emotes. We all got sub buttons if you really want to do that. If you're crazy and you want to help us out, that'll help. With the follow button, turn on those notifications so you know when we go live. Bullpen Banter, Monday nights, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We usually go for about 90 minutes to help you guys out. I feel like we've done that tonight. Do you think we've done that tonight? Have we helped people?
We get them scoops.
We got the scoops. We help them out.
It's
I think there's only one thing left for them to do, though. Snaggle J, what is that?
I think it's get out of the bullpen and get into the game.
That's it. We'll see you guys next week. Thank you guys for watching. Take it easy, everyone.
Bob waits, like he was there for so long and then waits until the outro to resub.
His name's not Bob. His name is Zach. Zach, thank you so much for the resub. Super appreciate it. And as I said, we'll see you guys again next week. Take it easy, folks.